I still remember the exact second my heart cracked open like cheap plaster. It was my little boy's 7th birthday, and I was on my knees in the grass, frosting smeared on my thumb, trying to light those stupid sparkler candles that refused to stay lit. The kids were screaming, the sun was perfect, and my phone buzzed against my thigh. One photo. My parents, grinning under a cloud of pink balloons, my sister's hand on her belly, a cake that said, "It's a girl," in cursive so pretty it hurt. And there, in the corner of the frame, my mom's caption, "Family first." Family first. Not my family. Hers. My name is Ethan. I'm 35, I keep every receipt, I color-code my spreadsheets, and for 4 straight years I bled myself dry so the people who raised me would never have to feel scared again. $800 every Friday, on the dot, like a heartbeat I couldn't turn off. Groceries, Wi-Fi, Dad's blood pressure pills, Mom's endless craft store runs for, baby shower decorations. I paid it all. I told myself it was love. Turns out it was just currency they could spend somewhere else. Let me take you back to before the crack, when everything still felt salvageable. I grew up in a house where the lights flickered if you were in the microwave and the toaster at the same time. Dad fixed roofs until his spine said no more. Mom sliced deli meat until her hands curled like claws at night. Money wasn't tight, it was a noose that got tighter every month. I was the kid who could stretch $5 into a week of lunches, who learned that if you smile while you're scared, adults believe you're fine. When I got my first real job, I marched into their kitchen and said the sentence that would haunt me for years, "You're done worrying. I've got you." I meant it like oxygen. They took it like a blank check. Fast forward. My son Leo is turning 7. Leo, who still thinks his grandparents hung the moon because I let him believe it. I told him Nana and Papa were coming. I saved them seats. I even bought the good juice boxes, the ones with the little foil straws that cost twice as much, because I wanted them to feel proud when they walked in. They never walked in. Instead, I got that photo. Then the text from Mom, "We're not required to be at every single kid's party, Ethan. Please grow up." Then the Amazon gift card. $10. The note read, "Happy birthday, little buddy. Love, Nana and Papa." $10. That's what my son's entire existence was worth on the day they chose a baby who isn't even born yet over a little boy who still asks me if the moon follows him home. I smiled through the rest of the party because 7-year-olds don't deserve to carry your rage. I cut the cake, I clapped for the piñata, I let Leo fall asleep on my chest with blue frosting in his hair. And then, when the house was quiet, I opened the banking app and did the thing I swore I'd never do. I paused everything. Not out of spite, out of survival. I froze the grocery card. I dropped the weekly transfer from 800 to 0. I turned their cell phones to emergency calls only. And then I sat in the dark and waited for the storm. It came faster than I expected. Sunday morning, my phone exploded. 37 missed calls. Texts that started polite and slid into ugly real quick. "You're seriously doing this over one missed party? Your father hasn't eaten since yesterday. Do you want us on the street?" I let every call go to voicemail until Mom left one so shaky I could hear her teeth chattering. "Fine. You win. We're coming over. We have nowhere else to go." I knew what was coming before the doorbell even rang. I opened it at 6:12 p.m. There they were, Mom, Dad, my sister Claire swollen with 8 months of pregnancy and righteous fury, 2 suitcases, a box of diapers someone already bought her, and that fake ficus they've dragged through 4 apartments. Claire had her phone up, recording. "For evidence," she said later. "For TikTok, more like." Mom stepped forward like she belonged there. "Let us in, Ethan. We gave notice on the apartment. You wanted control, here it is." I didn't move. No. Dad looked smaller than I've ever seen him. "Son. Please." I felt Leo's little shadow behind me in the hallway, barefoot, holding his stuffed astronaut. That was the moment the last thread snapped. I stepped outside and pulled the door almost shut behind me. The hallway smelled like someone's curry and my childhood collapsing. "Here's what's going to happen," I said, voice so calm it scared even me. "I booked you a motel for 7 nights. Paid in full. Tomorrow at 9, I'll drive you to the county assistant's office. I'll sit there while you fill out every form. I'll help you apply for senior housing, food benefits, whatever you qualify for. I will make sure Dad's prescriptions are covered. But you are not moving in here. You are not turning my son's home into the collateral damage of your choices. Claire laughed, sharp and glassy. Wow. Listen to the big man. What, you think you're better than us now? No, I said. I think I'm done being less. Mom started crying the way she always does when she's losing, loud, performative, wet. After everything we sacrificed. Stop. I cut her off. You don't get to rewrite history because the money stopped. You taught me family is everything. You just never said whose. Dad reached for me, old rough hand on my arm. We made mistakes. We're scared. For 1 second, I almost broke. Then I pictured Leo waiting inside, confused, clutching his astronaut, and I felt something steel slide into my spine. I know you're scared, I whispered. I was scared for you every single Friday for 4 years. Now it's your turn to figure it out. I handed Dad the motel key card and the printed list of resources. Then I stepped back inside and closed the door. The click of the lock sounded louder than any scream. That was 3 weeks ago. They're in a studio apartment now. Section 8 came through faster than anyone expected. Dad calls sometimes, quiet, ashamed. Mom mostly texts Bible verses about forgiveness. Claire had her baby girl last week and named her Eden, like the garden we're all supposedly kicked out of. She posted the announcement with a GoFundMe for unexpected medical bills. I didn't donate. Some nights Leo still asks why Nana and Papa don't come over anymore. I tell him grown-up stuff is complicated, but that I love him bigger than galaxies. He accepts it, because 7-year-olds trust the people who keep showing up. And me. I still make lists. But now one of them is titled, Money I Will Never Lend Again. Another one is titled, People Who Get to Stay. Leo's name is at the top in all caps, underlined twice. I kept my promise. They don't have to worry anymore. But neither do I. So tell me, because I still don't know the answer, when the people who taught you what love is suddenly show you what it isn't, where do you put the pieces? If this was you, if you opened that door and saw your whole childhood standing there with suitcases and blame in their eyes, would you have let them in? Or would you have finally, mercifully, closed the door? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you've ever had to choose between the family you were born into and the one you're trying to protect, I see you. I really do.